Hello, Guardians, and welcome to Destiny Reset Episode 101. This podcast is about anything and everything related to Destiny the game. If you love playing Destiny as much as we do, you're in the right place. This reset, we dive into the details on emblems we can earn for Destiny 2, microtransactions and their impact on the community, and we find ourselves taking a hard crack at our game backlog. Hello, Guardians, and welcome. It's Arrow Knights, and here with me, Cyborg Sasquatch. Hi, buddy.
Hi, buddy.
How are you?
I'm good.
That was interesting.
That is a impression my son has been asking me to do, where he is the character Emmett from the Lego Movie.
Oh, okay.
And I am Bad Cop.
You guys are all about that Lego Movie right now.
He's totally into it, but if you're going to be
awesome.
Bad Cop, you also have to do the Good Cop, asides, because he has a split personality. So I've been
one
working.
comes the other.
Yeah, I've been working on both. The Bad Cop's easy because you just do a gruff voice, but the Good Cop he's like Welsh accents. He's like, "Hi, buddy. Would you like some water?" It's kind of funny. Anyways,
that's good, man.
It's a tangent.
It's a good opener. Tangent right off the start.
How are you?
I'm great. I'm doing great.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Busy week.
A lot going on, man. We are
prepping. It's prep time.
Prepping for a big trip, a live show, things that we're trying to do for our listeners, and take care of babies and
families and
and go to work every day.
And go to work. And excited to hopefully, soon, meet more of our extended family called the Derp Fam.
No doubt.
Which you've met a pretty decent amount because you went to GuardianCon last year.
Yeah, but we're going to meet a lot more this year.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of folks I haven't met coming this year. And then some that I have returning. It's going to be an exciting weekend. But
oh, you know what? Actually, I meant to mention this to you again. Did we want to mention when to wear your shirts? Because we kind of talked about that.
I was definitely going to throw that out in the Discord, but we should bring it up. Let's talk about that now. Let's do some announcements real quick here.
Yes, let's do it.
Let's talk about.
I love when we talk about things actually during the recording session.
There's a lot to work out sometimes, guys.
It happens. We've done it a couple times.
We're really great at planning episodes. Everything else just happens on the fly.
Yes, exactly.
Let's talk about GuardianCon real quick. I'm sure everybody's sick of hearing about it if they're not going. But
it's so close.
If you are, the ticketing went up for our show. Hopefully you were paying attention to Twitter and to Discord because you did have to reserve a seat in the podcast theater to attend the show. That is sold out at this point. If you're attending and you're not a member of our Discord, please join so that you will have the opportunity to interface with all the other awesome Derp Fam members that are going to be there, and also, get communication and announcements from us about what's going on if you care to participate. So if you haven't joined yet, jump in our Discord. It's discord.gg/Destiny Reset. Really easy to remember there. And go check out the GuardianCon 17 attendee channel. Just jump in there and say attending. We'll assign a special role to you so that we can make you part of any announcements that we put out.
And we'll be able to track each other down easily next weekend. But
you brought up t-shirts. We'd like, if you have a Destiny Reset podcast shirt, ideally the newest one, but if you don't, the year one version is just as awesome. And we'd like everybody to sport those on day 2, that being Saturday, July 1st, so we can rep the way that we do really awesomely the day that we have the show in the podcast theater.
It probably will have already been done a time or two, but maybe after that show, the live show, we can grab everybody for a nice big group picture.
Yes, we did that last year, and it was an awesome picture.
I remember it.
I love that pic.
Yeah, if you wear your year 1 shirt, it's completely fine. If you don't have year 2, year 1 shirt does carry over.
It does, yeah. They brought up the light. They decided to grandfather that in. So
just infuse it.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, just infuse it with a new year 3 shirt and you'll be okay. One thing I almost forgot that we should bring up, we are going to be in a meet and greet on day 1, and I believe that happens at, let me double check. I'm going to pull up my Guardian Con app.
This is where we insert typing. No.
Yeah, if you haven't grabbed it as well, if you're going to Guardian Con, grab the Guardian Con app on Android or iOS, and it's really awesome. So you can put your schedule in there and everything. There's a meet and greet session 2 from 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. We will be a part of that meet and greet. So if we don't get a chance to meet you over the course of the weekend, that is a great place to come and see us. We'll be hanging out, shake your hand, get to talk to you, sign some stuff you want. Some people are into that. And we'll be along with some other really cool content creators. Maloney, Professor Broman, K Magic, Rabby _V, Blue Westlow, Mr. Fruit, Jay Sniperton, Syntax 7, One Actual Guardian Outpost, Lulu Soccer, The Jez, Cactus HD versus The Stream, Burn BXX, The Little Gump, and T-Rex.
Overload.
Some good company there.
Yeah, definitely.
You'll probably want to meet those other people before us, but hey, we're just Lagniappe. So yeah, so that'll be going on.
To anybody.
Besides that, there is a Dirt Fam meetup Saturday night. If you want to join the Dirt Fam pizza party, jump in the Discord and you get more information on that.
You are more than welcome.
Yeah, absolutely. We just want you to just join the dang Discord.
And I believe that is where the consumption of the pineapple pizza is going to take place.
Yeah, buddy. We got to eat pineapple pizza because I'm stupid and I agreed to do that.
Dude, I mean, I know I think about it and I'm like, I did not. Actually, I kind of did. I jumped in the Discord chat after you had already done it and they said, oh, this is what Cyborg's going to do. And I said, I guess I could just do that with him.
Well, I wasn't going to volunteer you for it. I was just like,
I appreciate
I'll agree
that.
to
I
do
appreciate
it.
that. But it actually is pretty fun.
I appreciate the solidarity that you're going to provide and doing it together.
I am still going to do a trial run. Just because I want to.
So you don't like vomit in front of people on accident?
My wife and I are going to order a pineapple pizza this week because, as I've mentioned, she is a fan.
Just let me know how it goes, man. I'm nervous.
I will. I'll do the test run for both of us.
All right. And then one last thing about Guardian Con, of course, as we're talking, we're recording this on a Thursday evening, and the Guardian Con charity stream marathon has begun.
Oh,
and
boy.
Right now, the grand total for the entire event is at $269,000.
Unbelievable, man.
Very impressive. I'm sure by the time our listeners hear that, that will have at least doubled.
At least, yeah.
But they're well on their way.
Is it a million goal?
Yeah, they're well on the way to $1 million.
Last year was 500,000.
Yeah.
What did they end up with last year?
Well, I think the goal last year was 250 or something.
They did 500
and they
plus.
got 500 plus. Yeah.
Yeah. So
and
crazy.
Starting
so
out,
crazy.
you know,
Crazy cool.
Other people were able to do like their own streams before the event to raise money towards it. And I think between a series of streams, there was already like 100K plus raised before the event even started, which is awesome.
Yeah, we talked about at some point, I don't remember if it was actually on the show, how they made news headlines last year. And it makes me wonder, like, how many people outside of like the gaming community are watching that and catching wind of it and just being amazed, you know?
People are going to find out this year.
What is being generated through the gaming community, you know, and Destiny specifically, even though they are streaming, I believe, other games other than Destiny.
No doubt.
I think Warframe was one of them today.
Yeah, they had the Warframe developers this evening streaming, which is pretty cool.
Yep.
So if you're not aware that was going on, there is just an awesome series of content creators that will be streaming 24/7 leading up to the event. I believe ending on Thursday. The actual stream does. So go check that out. It's twitch.tv/GuardianCon. And there'll be some great entertainers throughout the week playing, different games, not just Destiny.
Right.
And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. If you watch Twitch, you're going to like what you see.
For sure. Very cool,
man.
stuff.
Any other announcements?
I think that is it. I think it's time for some news. We got a few nuggets of news here.
Got some news.
I guess we can start with the TWAB. I like how we have this bullet point that we always have. That's patches and hot fixes. I don't know how many of those we're going to have.
Yeah.
Till D2. We know no sandbox updates.
Not for a while, but
yes. So
we'll leave it there right to the for posterity. Yeah. This week at Bungie.
Surprise.
Got a bunch of good information here about some rewards for D1 players.
That screenshot, which we've already seen, obviously, quite a few times, but I actually had an exchange with Bones on Twitter today. I just nerd out on interface, man, and it is a thing of beauty.
It does look really nice.
It is, and it's a console screenshot, obviously. So, when I first look at it, I'm like, oh, is that PC? And it's just just like we talked about a few episodes ago, it's just so crisp and so pretty.
Yeah. So what they showed us was a screenshot of the character screen.
Hasn't changed
when you
a
go
ton,
to your
but
select, start or whatever menu. Yeah, it's very similar.
It's just pretty.
Yeah, the headings at the top are different, if you notice that. We've got records, that's a new one. Clan, character, inventory settings. And then, you got your typical weapon columns, armor columns. Did you notice there's a spot where artifacts go that's locked?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if artifacts are carrying over, but there's a slot there.
I know people immediately noticed the 34,500 glimmer amount too, even though it says all values and statistics for illustration purposes only.
Yeah, Deej was very careful to point out on Twitter that it's just for illustration, guys. So no confirmed glimmer
instantly
cap
pick it
raised
apart.
yet. Yeah, and then we got that weird currency. What was it called again? Strange Dust?
Strange Dust, yeah. Which I don't remember that being what that looked like.
Yeah, it was
that
a different
like
icon.
Something different. Yeah,
so,
either updated or different.
They could be called something different. It could be a different icon for it. There's some
that actually looks
currency.
Like. What did you get? I still haven't cashed them in for whatever reason. I'm keeping them. You remember the quest that you got that like shard for that was worth 5,000 glimmer? That's what that looks like to me. I forget what it was called. I might go to the tower real quick and we can revisit this.
Yeah. Interesting. Shards of the Traveler. I don't know. There's a bunch of things that you can turn in.
Oh, there's so many. Yeah, I just mean this one.
This
one was like one thing. That's why I'm saying it makes sense.
I remember stuff
we
like
don't remember
for the reef that you could turn in. There was stuff from Rise of Iron that you can turn in for cash money.
You're like, dude, how do you expect me to remember that?
There's too many.
So, emblems.
Yeah, so emblems. Yeah, we're kind of dancing around this here. The big announcement here is number one, they are telling us very specifically some emblems that you can earn or already have earned for being a player in Destiny 1.
Start talking about us veteran players.
Yeah, and he does explain that there's going to be some other things for Destiny 1 players that, how does he word it? He explains, let me look for this paragraph. Yeah. We have a handful of emblematic accomplishments that could compel you to tie up some loose ends this summer, but you have till August 1st to do so. He says some of the ways in which we'll tip our hat to your legacy in Destiny 2 and some of the ways you'll be able to show all the young pups that you'd become legend long before they were ever reborn in the Cosmodrome are best left for you to experience for yourself. Others are little touches that will fall snugly into the realm of you just had to be there. We're not going to spoil them for you right here, right now. So who knows what else they've got planned, but
yeah, I was gonna say that means it's like actually like out in the world, little nods, I guess.
yeah, I mean, it could be Easter eggs, it could be stuff that you get in quests, it could be story beats, you know. So, but here's what they're telling us for sure is that you can get a chance at a few different emblems. So let me run through these real quick. Laurel Triumphant. You completed a moment of triumph during Destiny's first year. Gloria Prima 2. You completed all 10 moments of triumphs during Destiny's first year. We've got Slayer of Oryx. You owned the Taken King and completed a moment of triumph during Destiny's second year. Heard the Call. You owned the Taken King and completed all 8 moments of triumphs during Destiny's second year. Young Wolf, you own Rise of Iron and reached rank 2 in the Age of Triumph record book. Saladin's Pride, you owned Rise of Iron and reached rank 7 in the Age of Triumph record book. And then finally, Lore Scholar, you achieved a Grimoire score of over 5,000 in Destiny 1.
What's the max Grimoire now?
50... You know? It's either 5560 or 5660. It's something like that.
That's pretty attainable. 5,000. I'm at like 4,600, and I haven't like went out of my way to get.
There's easily
Grimoire.
like 1,000 Grimoire points, if I had to guess, in Dead Ghosts.
Wow.
At least 900, I know. So if you don't have a lot of those, you can bust that pretty easy.
Yeah.
You're going to have to finally go do it, man.
Yep.
Now there's an emblem involved.
Yep. Yep. And the cool thing too is the kind of the teaser in the image is they show you that it kind of borders your character screen now.
Yeah. So it's not
really
just,
cool.
It's not just like in your fire team display. Mm-hmm. When you open it up, it's like the top border behind your character screen. And so that's a cool touch. I like it.
Yep.
It kind of extends the emblem out and makes it like a bigger graphic, which is really nice. Which one of these you think is going to be the rarest? I'm going to say Gloria Prima 2. You completed all 10 moments of triumphs during Destiny's first year.
Yeah.
Not only because a lot of people joined with Taken King, but there was plenty of people who didn't finish that because it was hard.
I would have to agree with you. That one I think is the well, I know I finished that one. I think you're right because of the whole Taken King thing. Yeah. Everybody jumping in then.
Well, and a lot of people didn't finish it either because of the Prison of Elders Skolas.
Oh yeah,
and it was so challenging for a lot of people.
I remember doing that.
They didn't want to
do it. Yep.
So,
and I pulled this up. It's the Jolly Holiday quest, and you get. I'm given to understand you're looking for some uncut glimmer crystals, and you get to turn it in for.
Glimmer.
I don't know.
Crystals.
Yeah, it's a generous donation, but the thumbnail for it looks almost identical to that icon in that character screen. So I wonder if you can totally speculation, but I wonder if you could like bank your glimmer into those to stack glimmer. That would be interesting.
Nice.
Anyways, complete speculation.
Kind of like
it looks very similar.
Cents and dollars, right?
Yes, exactly.
You could put your dollars in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
What if there was a bank and you could earn interest?
Dude, if we're right about this, just from looking at that screenshot, we got to revisit this when Destiny 2 comes out.
If we're right about it, then we totally got a scoop, and everybody's going to think that we're just the bomb.
Yeah, that's some Destiny knowledge there, man. Between the two of us, we don't do predictions too often. So
but when we do, we're hardly ever right.
Exactly. So if we're right about this one. Cool. Well, so what else we get?
Some deets on this. They dropped some really important dates, basically
they did, yes.
laying out the rest of the summer because they want everybody to be sure that by August 1st, you've got till August 1st to reach rank 7 in the Moment of Triumph's book to unlock the discounted offer to claim your Age of Triumph shirt. And the same date if you're going to earn any of these emblems that you can earn. Mm-hmm. So they laid out basically the rest of the summer's events, so we know what to expect.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've got every weekend until August 11th for Trials. August 11th is the last Trials of Osiris, which is actually kind of early. Like, that's a good, like 1, 2, 3. That's a good 4 weeks before Destiny 2 drops.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. July 4th is an Iron Banner kickoff, and also King's Fall weekly featured raid. The week of July 11th, you've got the Wrath of Machine. July 18th, Crota's Inn. Also, Daybreak month begins. If you remember, they had promised in July a full four weeks of Daybreak in the Nightfall, which will be fun as heck.
Yeah.
July 25th, Vault of Glass weekly raid. And then August 1st, finally, the Triumph offer expires.
Mm-hmm.
And also, August 1st, the final Destiny 1 era Iron Banner. We'll have to jump in that one, make sure we go out with a bang.
Yeah, I was going to say, the very next thing, which was what we've been questioning for a while now, is they say two events that will go into hibernation reemerging with their beautiful wings in unexpected ways in Destiny 2 is Iron Banner. We knew Trials was coming back, but they say specifically Destiny 1 era Iron Banner.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't be surprised if, of course, we know the modes are going to change because it's 4v4. We don't know what game types these could be, but I wouldn't be surprised if they both have a new name. Mm-hmm. Don't you?
Yeah, I think I don't know if we chatted about that or I just saw it about Trials, but yeah, I agree. Same thing with Iron Banner.
I mean, the rumored leak was Trials of the Nine for Trials of Osiris. It's not really corroborated with any source, but could be named that. Could be.
Yeah.
Totally speculative.
Here we go again.
Here we go. Well,
What's going on with us this week?
Look, there's going to be a lot of that until this game freaking launches. Like,
we've got a few
all we
months.
Can do is speculate.
I think I saw something today or yesterday. It said 76 days until Destiny 2.
But I think
that was today.
I think this is a fun and healthy time to speculate, as long as we're doing it without being unreasonable. You know, without like setting expectations in weird directions.
If we somewhere include in our statement that it is speculation.
Yeah. So we'll have to, maybe we can just like pre-record an audio warning that we intersplice like every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's like speculation.
Yeah, there you go. I was going to say it's either that or the very front of every episode, instead of talking about something that other podcasts may drop in, we just say, just a fair warning, this podcast will have many amounts of speculation.
Parental guidance is advised. Wait, can I get like a...
from here until September.
Like a soundboard that has like sound effects, and we can have special ones, and one will be like, speculation!
And there
we
you
just
go.
like hit it every time somebody speculates.
Maybe we can implement something like that with our new blue equipment.
That'll be fun. Ooh, teaser.
Teaser.
All right, back to this news though. So after August 11th, they're saying you'll still find all the icons in the lower left of your director, including Crucible playlists, story playlists, strike playlists, and featured raids. Xur will still make his weekend appearances. And
dude, this one. Go ahead.
I think Tefty
it's fitting
put
for
it
you to say it.
The best when he said a final slap in the face for Xbox players.
I don't mean to laugh. It's just, it really is comical. It's comical.
It's really funny. The weapons, armor, and playable activities that have been available only on PlayStation will transfer to the Xbox in October 2017.
So you can get your exclusives when the PC version releases.
I'm not going to boot up Destiny 1 to play this crap.
Right.
Exclusive content from The Taken King will migrate to all 4 launch platforms, including legacy consoles, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, Xbox One, and Xbox 360. Exclusive content from Rise of Iron will only migrate to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. We'll follow up with a more exact date before it arrives.
Thinking out loud about this together, why do you think they chose October? Why wouldn't they do it like in August so you can goof around with it for a minute?
because it doesn't have value anymore, so PlayStation won't care.
Yeah.
They'll have new exclusives on Destiny 2. Everybody will have migrated.
There's obviously something dictating it there, with possibly the letters of SONY.
I'm just going to load another round in the chamber for the conversation that we had planned about console exclusivity here coming up.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Moving on.
All right, here's your part, man. What do we got? And what's
up, Doc? It's time for Destiny Player Support to have a word. There's going to be some server maintenance and downtime in preparation for the Destiny 2 beta. Destiny servers will be taken offline for maintenance Tuesday, June 27th, 7 a.m. Pacific. Expected completion, 4 p.m. Pacific. Pretty much the whole day. They're bringing on down the servers.
Taking it down.
Here's a great one. Destiny server queue. They're definitely going to want this. It has been enabled in the event that the population exceeds the capacity of our data center for the Destiny 2 beta. So it only impacts you attempting to sign in. It won't affect you trying to launch activities or social spaces. So once you're in, you're good. You won't have to be queued up anymore. But I'm sure the first days of the PlayStation Xbox beta, you'll be in a queue at some point.
Yeah.
What you think?
I think so.
Yeah, it's going to be a big deal. They've got a new mentor, a Bungie.net mentor added. These are volunteers that frequent the forum, sharing articles from help.bungie.net, communication posted by Bungie Help, or other official answers. So they have a new recruit. His name is Ace. Congratulations, Ace. Thank you for your service to all those Guardians out there that need help.
Yes, thank you.
I'm sure that's a thankless job. We've got the Bungie Bounty, which, again, will take place in the past when you hear this. But it was Sir Grenader Jake. They put in here it was the 26th, but it actually is happening on the 25th. They corrected that in California on Xbox, playing Control.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck playing him. He will kill you.
Good luck.
Yep.
Guardian.
And then
Did you watch any movies of the week?
No.
I haven't either, man.
But I think the first one I've already watched before.
Yeah.
But a new rapper gracing the stage of Destiny raps. Watch out. Old school. They got a new school coming for you.
Tough competition in the Destiny rap game.
I know.
Some good ones out there.
So yeah, that was the TWAB this week. I'm sorry, a lot of dump there. Information dump. But good stuff to know. Some cool things that we can expect. I know everybody was wondering about emblems that we can expect in Destiny 2. Everybody always wants those emblems. So that's one thing that you'll get if you've been around or playing.
Have the old emblems.
Yep.
What else we got? They talked about, like you'd mentioned, prepping for the beta. Speaking of, an article from Games Radar quoted Luke Smith in explaining why they moved the release date up a couple days.
Yeah.
Basically, I guess they talked about it, and they felt like a lot of people specifically play their games on Saturdays over the weekend, and they felt they may be overextending their technical team.
Yeah.
And maybe overloading some things if they release on a Friday. So
makes sense.
Days sooner to soften the load, maybe.
Definitely makes sense.
Wonder if we'll be in a queue on Wednesday, September 6th.
Yeah. So that kind of, I guess that explains the change.
Yeah. Wednesday is still weird though. I'm surprised they didn't move it to
that Tuesday.
The normal old Tuesday, and it being reset. I did, after our episode last week, tweet Luke and Mark and Lars and asked them if anyone had asked if there would still be a regular reset in the game as we know it. And I did it at like I don't even remember. It was probably like 2 a.m. So I may tag them again and ask because I don't know that they would have seen it that early in the morning.
Need to know.
Just curious.
Just curious.
Really curious.
Just want to know.
It is interesting that maybe they didn't put it out on Tuesday because they know that's reset day, and I don't know. Wednesday is, I don't know. It's a brand new game. It's just it's whole new territory for us. Who knows?
Yeah. Got a couple other notable articles that are worth reading this week, and we pulled a couple nuggets out of them. First one being what is this outlet? It's finder.com/Australia AU. I think they were pulling from another article, if I had to guess. But the article is concerning Bungie talks no recoil on guns on PC in Destiny 2. So they get a quote from Mark Noseworthy. And they asked, do you find that you're having to balance the PC version differently, especially in terms of difficulty, etc.? And he goes on to say, for instance, there's no recoil on guns on PC because recoil on the controller feels really good. I'm firing. Oh, I'm losing control of my gun a little bit. That feels great, especially with magnetism and all the magic in the controller that makes you feel it. With a mouse and keyboard, you don't want the mouse moving without you moving it, so recoil doesn't feel good. So there's no recoil on PC.
It's interesting. Makes sense.
That's really, man, the game is going to feel and play a lot differently.
It is. It's going to be interesting because, like, we've already been talking about upgrading PCs and building PCs. We will be playing it on PC, and just the ease of jumping on there and experiencing a totally the same game with completely different peripherals. And I'm wondering how different it's going to feel.
And how hard is it going to be to swap between them, you know, especially in the Crucible.
Yep.
PvE and stuff, you have a little more time to adjust, but if you're going back and forth on the Crucible and balances are different, like recoil adjustment, that's a big one. Especially with like primaries and stuff.
Yeah.
But can you imagine like firing a shotgun and it's no recoil?
It's going to be interesting. That's just seems
or
weird.
a auto rifle and it's just like a laser. It's gonna be interesting, man.
Doesn't seem right.
Can't wait to find out, but I think it's definitely gonna I just foresee a lot of separation and how people are gonna play and who's gonna play where, you know, for those reasons. But hey, I mean, it's I think they're trying to be smart about making it work on PC and making a game that's going to please those users and the people that want to play that way. So it's going to be an adventure to find out how that goes.
Yeah, I don't envy what all they have to think about.
Yeah.
Like we said last week, a whole nother world for them.
Yeah. There's a pretty good article on PC Gamer, a new one. You know, we talked about a great one they had last week. This one was titled Destiny 2's Developers on Balancing for Mouse and Keyboard, Content Droughts, and Pole Dancing. And there's a bunch of great nuggets about kind of design philosophies and different stuff in here that is worth reading, that I think people should definitely read this one. I've really enjoyed PC Gamer's articles that they've done. They've done a really good job so far on asking great questions. But the most notable thing was right at the end, and they ask, let me get to it here. Last question, should we expect substantial changes to the way loot works, or is it going to work roughly the same way Destiny 1 did? And they answer, and then they say, the Cryptarch will feel familiar. That's what you're telling me. And the person answers, if there were a Cryptarch, I don't know that there is. Interesting, huh?
That is interesting.
So I guess the speculation is how engrams are going to work. I mean, they've kind of danced around so far the fact that they haven't shown any engrams in any builds. And so I'm assuming engrams will still be around, but how they function may change. And that could be a really positive change.
Yeah, I wonder how many things like that when we finally get Destiny 2 in our hands and we're playing it that are mechanically different in the game.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to something that's more streamlined you know, less time. I mean, engrams were really a big part of why you would have to make pit stops in between activities, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you needed to go decode, see what you got, or you needed to clear out your inventory or whatever. And if they had a better system for that, I think it would make a much better experience.
Right.
So we'll find out. And they said specifically, like, we won't. I think Deej pretty much explained that there's not going to be any engrams or that type of reward system in the beta. So we're not going to find out there. Mm-hmm. So we'll have to wait until D2 launches.
We shall see.
Yep. So we got another article worth a little bit more discussion over at Polygon. Title of the article is Destiny Players Invested in the Game, and we just want the same from Bungie. Subtext, this is about capitalism as much as fandom, written by Daniel Friedman. So in the article, essentially the writer voices his frustrations with specifically money spent in microtransactions in Destiny 1 do not carry over into Destiny 2. Not to mention all the other gear and cosmetic items left behind. Which is fair. You know, I think it's definitely something that's been on people's minds. And I think it was Pope Bear that tweeted this out, and I think they were even going to discuss it on Destiny Community Podcast this week. So, not trying to rip off their discussion topic, but we had a few listeners who asked what we thought about this particular article. I would encourage anybody to go read it, to dive more into their specific discussion and kind of follow the trail of where the writer takes this. They go a lot of, through the, I guess, history of Destiny 1 and introduction of microtransactions through Eververse and etc. And then they proceed to kind of compare it to other games, other online games, specifically like League of Legends, World of Warcraft, Counter-Strike, Dota 2, Team Fortress 2, Overwatch is brought up, a whole slew of different online games with microtransactions, and then pretty much spends the rest of the time voicing their frustration with the fact that people have spent a lot of money in Destiny 1 and the Eververse, and it's all going to garbage, I guess. So what was your take on this particular article, Aeronite?
Well, like you said, I definitely can see the viewpoint. It's no matter what you do, it's going to come across as a negative opinion and approach to the way the transition between Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 is being handled. When you're addressing it in an article in this, format, I mean, we clearly moved past it. We've mentioned it several times. We moved past it, in a decent amount of time, accepted it and accepted Destiny 2 as a brand new, fresh experience. That's not to say that I don't wish that all the cosmetic items I have, even though I'm not a big spender at Eververse, I didn't get hit with this very hard. I do not spend much money on silver and Eververse items. I've mentioned several times if we had an emote wheel, I probably would have bought way more emotes. But I get it. I definitely get it. It would be very cool if Bungie could have figured out a way to carry over cosmetic items. I mean, you're talking about dance emotes that maybe aren't even, I don't know. I'm not a developer. I don't know how easily those would be able to be implemented into a sequel, a new iteration of the game.
Right.
Obviously, I think everybody would agree if we could have them, we would want them.
Yeah.
But, my follow-up to that is it's been said, since we've heard mentions of Destiny 2 that it's a brand new experience. They want to start fresh. They're even taking the story we talked about last week in a fresh, different way, specific storylines. And I don't know, my thought is maybe now we know what happened with Destiny 1. We know like how they had to scrap at a certain point and do different things, and it was kind of a rocky start. And maybe from D2 to D3 we'll see something like that, since they've touted from the beginning that it's a 10-year game, 10-year investment. My guess is it may go beyond that. So I don't know. I'm hopeful that in the future maybe we'll see them be able to carry things over like that. Again, comparing Destiny, it is kind of like World of Warcraft, and it isn't at the same time. So, I don't know. Comparing the two is a little difficult to, I think, compare. But that's my thoughts. What do you think, man?
So I have a few fundamental complaints with the way that the article is written. So I don't have any problem with the underlying argument that he's trying to make, which is that it stinks that none of this stuff carries over.
People have spent money and it's not carrying over.
I think anybody can agree with, like you said, if we could have it in Destiny 2, we would certainly want it because we've spent money on that stuff. Now, there's some stuff that doesn't make sense to carry over and won't, like ornaments for exotics that won't exist anymore. And then you get into like sparrows and stuff that probably won't exist anymore, and a lot of assets, like you said, we can't know how easy or difficult it could be to get all these assets. Let's say even if it was just emotes into Destiny 2. But I guess my complaint with the way that this article is written, number one, is the timeliness of it really comes out of left field for me, because this is a topic we hashed out like a couple months ago when they said nothing was carrying forward, wasn't it? I mean, it was like March or April, I feel like, when they told us this. So right there, I'm just like, why are you writing an article about this now? Because no part of that problem has changed since then. And then they go on to compare Destiny to all these games that, while they may be online communities with, I guess with microtransactions, a large majority of them aren't on console. So that's a big difference in how those, the actual code base evolves. And Destiny has had to gone through like 2 different generations of consoles. Like the limitations have changed, hardware has changed. And that leads into my other complaint, is that they bring all this up, but they don't talk at all about any of the reasons or the reasoning why Bungie has stated outright and explained in multiple different ways why we're getting a fresh start in D2. And there's a number of them. And I don't want to come across as just a Bungie apologist, and it's like, constantly defend them, but at least balance your article a little bit. Because if you're an average player and maybe you missed this announcement, or you haven't read every interview and article and blah, 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 that they've talked about why Destiny 2 is a fresh start, if you just read this article, you're just going to feel burned. And so I don't think it's, I feel like people have at least some responsibility to, if you're going to write something, to offer more than just your own perspective. And at least if you're talking about a game and a developer, to at least bring up the reasons why they've said, hey, this is why we're doing X, Y, Z, so that they have a voice in the conversation to an extent. You don't have to agree with it, and you can even argue against what they say if you want, but they don't bring any part of that up. And they make a really big generalization. They say the overall tone from the community seems to be, you bought these emotes and sparrows en masse in Destiny 1. Destiny 2 is a new game. There's no reason to expect microtransactions from an old game to carry over to a new game. Bungie doesn't owe you anything. I haven't heard anybody say anything to that degree that I know. I think that's a mischaracterization. There's just a lot of leaps and bounds and fallacies in the arguments that they make. It's really just a freaking salt mine of an article. And,
well, like I said, it's a topic that's hard not to come across as negative or salty. And then you throw, a extra layer of tone to it. And then it becomes such, but yeah, it's, it's a topic, like you said, we've already covered. And maybe it goes to show how much, we support Bungie. It's not that we're apologists. Like we believe in them and their decisions. And I feel like Destiny 2 in many different facets is going to be a way more organized, dished out version of our favorite game to us. And who knows, maybe this is something, that they're already thinking about. And like I said, going forward, maybe we'll see a different angle and approach with stuff like this.
Well, I've said before that ultimately they're going to live and die by the decisions that they make in regards to microtransactions into Eververse. If people get burned, they're going to get burned. And if people feel burned because they bought a bunch of stuff and it's left behind, it'll certainly impact their spending decisions in Destiny 2. But that's capitalism. Like, that is the nature of a free market. So what Destiny and what Bungie decides to do in the decisions they make about how their store works and what content comes and goes is going to affect how people spend money. And that is going to self-regulate. Like, there will be people who still don't care. They're still going to spend $100 every time something new comes. Yeah. And then there's going to be consumers who are more thrifty, or they, don't find as much value and they won't spend as much money, and that will speak for itself.
I think like I kind of disagreed a bit with the article when he said he thinks, they think it will be, you will see this decision affected by the purchasing of Eververse items in Destiny 2. In my opinion, what you just said, I don't, they mention also in the article, Call of Duty does this with every iteration of the game. They leave everything behind as far as cosmetics, guns, and things like that. I don't think we'll see a very substantial difference. I don't spend very much money at Eververse. Some people do, like you said. And Destiny 2 will at least probably be a 2-year investment for us if they decide not to carry this stuff over again when Destiny 3 comes out. Who knows what we've got down the road, but I don't think it'll affect people's decisions that much. I think the people who spent money in Eververse are the same people that are going to spend money in Eververse in Destiny 2.
Probably
I really don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. Now, that's not to say I do hope, if I do buy some things in Destiny 2, I'm hopeful that we'll
get to use it for a while.
Use it for a while and maybe see it carried over into 3. Yeah. But I really don't think it's going to affect players' decisions that much. They've really already decided what kind of consumer of Eververse they are. There's myself, who doesn't spend a lot, and there's the middle ground, I'm sure, and then people who just dump tons into it because they want to.
And there will be people that change their minds, and they may,
and there will be
their decisions about what they may buy and may not buy. Mm-hmm. They may not change anything because it's the beginning of a new game. They're like, well, buy something this year, I'll at least have it for 2 or 3 years. Mm-hmm. They'd be like,
and I could be wrong,
can live with that.
I just don't think, like, if we saw it graphed out, I don't think there would be a substantial change in buying patterns because of this, which is what they hint towards they think will be the case because of this.
Because the reality is that 20% of the player base buys 80% of the silver.
Right.
It's the 80-20 rule. And I promise you it's in the data, it's there. And that 20% of people, and the 20% of that 20%, which is like 6%, spend the most out of that. And I could give you names of who those people are.
We've seen them do it.
And they want everything in the game, and they want to enjoy it the way that they like, and they're okay with spending money on their hobby, which is how this game has become. And Bungie has acknowledged that people treat this like a hobby and not just a game. They're aware of that. So when you have a hobby, they're gonna, any smart, company or whatever that has a hobby around their product is going to provide purchasing options. And they're doing a much better job with that with physical merchandise. They've kicked that up into high gear in the past 2 years. They're going to do the same thing in the Eververse, promise.
Yeah, I hope, I've hinted at it already. I hope with Destiny 2, we've already can see it. They've had more time to plan it. They have more direction on what they want to do with the game. I think anywhere from story to activities to the way we consume the game. And who knows? Stay positive. Maybe down the road we'll see something like this transferred over between iterations of the game. Yeah,
there might be a point at which they say, okay, we're gonna bring forward these emotes, and if you bought them, then they'll be in your what are they called? The consoles or the thingy that you go to pick stuff up. Kiosk. There we go. Yeah, it might be something that they spend time on bringing. We just don't know until we get the game, until they give us some answers on that. I would be very surprised if they didn't, with at least the emotes, see some return of a lot of that stuff. Would just make a lot of sense to me. So
it would be cool if they did. I don't see how they could give us all of the money we've spent, but it would be cool because they did give us free silver at one point. It wasn't much. It was like one emote, but
I think when the store first opened,
did a little nod and said, we realized we had to do this from Destiny 1 to 2. Here is such and such amount of silver to enjoy. When Destiny 2
and there hasn't been a word about Eververse or microtransactions in Destiny 2 yet. We don't know if it's going to launch with them. We don't know what form it will take, or if it's something we'll see down the line. So I think that's certainly a topic for way down the line.
Yes.
To look at, obviously it'll be there in some form because it's
some way, shape, or form.
Brought in some kind of significant amount of funds for them.
And from what we understand, live events, again, part of the planning and prep for D2, it seems like maybe we'll see some more regular live events.
Yeah, I hope so.
And things of that nature. We'll see.
I hope so.
We'll see.
Well, partner, you ready to move on from news?
I think so. What's next? What segment do we...
How was your reset?
Oh, that one. You want me to start?
Yeah.
I did actually play some Trials last weekend.
Nice. You were streaming Friday night, man.
Huh? Yeah. I'm still having issues with OBS. I'm in the process of transitioning from Classic to Studio. I've got to rebuild some stuff or figure out a way to import my scenes and things of that nature. So I ended up just streaming on the PlayStation because I really wanted to hang out with the Dirt fam. And it was a good time. I hadn't done it for, a period of time, several hours in a while. So it was a good time. We played Burning Shrine. It's like old school Trials.
Nice.
I put to work the new Luna and Icebreaker. I was swapping from Last Word Sniper on the first round to either Luna, Icebreaker on the second round, or my No Land Wormwood on the second round. So it was fun. We had a good time. We were trying all kinds of different loadouts, or at least those three for me. And no Lighthouse. It's either we ran into some lag, we ran into some very good games. We lost 5-3 or 5-4, or pulled some out 5-4 on our end. But overall, it was a good time. It's always.
How was that Icebreaker? How'd you like it?
Dude, I surprisingly, because I got out the old one, it took me 3 weeks to get my Icebreaker, which I can't complain at all. It was my 7th Nightfall. And I can't remember if I mentioned last week or not. I mentioned that I got it, I believe, but I got it on the first Nightfall that we did, and the second Nightfall, Terry got it because he actually didn't have it either. And so that worked out. We didn't have to do the third Nightfall. and we took it right in, and I had pulled the old one out, and it was just so slow, and I'm like, I don't know if the new one feels anything like this. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to, and it feels good. Like, it surprisingly feels good. It was fun on Burning Shrine. I actually took it into a Rumble match with my new Luna roll and went like 22-5. And it did not take as long as I thought to feel pretty cozy with that gun, being the crazy, atrocious amount of zoom that it has. I'm getting pretty good. Like, I've really been practicing when I jump on with my quick scope and even just like my from the hip shotgun with a sniper shots. And those have been landing more regularly for me. So I'm pretty excited when those hit. I feel like maybe I'm starting to get the feel for those a little more than I've had in the past. But
you can do it, man.
It's fun. You know, I'll tell you one thing that happens with Icebreaker a lot is if you don't hit that headshot, which, I mean, the Guardian's dome is like almost your entire monitor with the zoom of that thing.
Yeah.
But if you don't get the headshot and you get the body shot, and then you just swap real quick to something like the Luna that I have, and it's just like a slow, steady motion. Icebreaker body shot. If you can if you can't pull off the headshot, and then just switch weapons and kapow, one Luna shot and they're toast. Nice. They're probably like, seriously, you can't hit the headshot.
So meta, bro.
Right. Oh, and we had stickies out, so definitely. So shout out to Jay Howard Davis and Tats and Terry for running some trials. Other than that, man, I haven't played a lot of Destiny. I played some Overwatch. I upgraded my PC last week, like I had mentioned, so I ended up buying. I have PS4 copy of Overwatch, but I bought it on PC, and I've played it a little bit. I've been diving back into the lore of that game, and it's interesting to. I subscribed back to a podcast that I did the day the game released, and it's interesting to be that player that like played at the beginning and hasn't played this whole time, and now I'm like playing again and trying to understand what they're talking about, what they mean, and how to play this game. Yeah. But something about Overwatch is fun. I don't know. It's a neat game. I picked it up on PC and goofed around, and I've got PUBG. I haven't put a lot of time into it yet, but we were talking before the show. The Steam summer sale started today, and it's like. I'll let you tell them about your PC venture, but mine's upgraded, so it's like it is extremely dangerous territory right now. You just want to buy all the PC games, all of them, and you just can't. You end up being that person that has 100 games in their library, and you play like 3 of them.
Oh yeah, man. I have a friend we talk every summer about the summer sale. He has dozens and dozens of games that he's bought and has not played probably 90% of them.
It's so hard not to buy them when they're $4.99, right?
I know. So
those daily sales.
Yep. So I'm keeping an eye on those. We were talking before the show. So I finally, I have ordered all my parts to build my PC.
They're so exciting.
They're coming in over the next, week. I think everything should be arrived at the latest by the day Guardian Con starts on the 30th. So when I come back, I will be able to, hopefully, that's what I'm going to aim for, start putting it together on July 4th.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I get to come back.
I'm excited for you, man.
I have a builder project when I come back.
Something other than Mega Bloks.
Yeah, so I got a big reason to watch the summer sale now, because I'm like, all right, I need to make sure I grab some games so that I can, crank up on PC and try it out. So I've got Doom in my cart, because I only had the disc version of that game for my Xbox. I didn't buy it digitally. It's I don't think it was even Play Anywhere at that point. I did get Gears digitally, which I ended up purchasing. I started playing the demo, and I grabbed a digital version that was on sale. So I'll have that on Play Anywhere, and I'll be able to crank that into the PC.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I was asking for recommendations, like, all right, I'm going to have this, like, what's some stuff I can try out on PC to, like, see what it's like and experience, you know. So I know PUBG, I've had a bunch of people be like, dude, I can't wait so we can play PUBG. It's going to be so much fun. So I can't wait to try that out.
I've played a few games of it. It is intense. It's fun. I can definitely see sinking some time into it. It's definitely, I've heard from friends and can tell when you load it up. Of course, it's a alpha type platform or structure of a game, but it is definitely not as optimized as something like Overwatch that you throw on or something of that nature.
I heard they're getting a zombies mode.
Oh, really?
In PUBG, yeah.
I haven't heard that.
Kind of similar to like H1Z1 and what's the other big one?
DayZ.
DayZ, yeah. I was trying to make sure that's the right name.
Yeah, I own all of those.
Well, I've always wanted to play both of those, and I've never had anything that could run it since they've been out. So I'm excited to play something like that. So it should be fun.
Very cool.
Mostly,
we were joking before the show that leave it to Destiny 2 being announced on PC to get us to get our PC game back in order.
Yeah, well, it's, for pretty much over a year, I've been, trying to save and hope I can build a PC, and I've finally been able to pull it together. I was like, all right, I got to make sure I build something this summer to be ready, I know
you're like telling me about it, and I built this and this or that, and then I literally went from not even really thinking about it yet to ordering my parts, getting them, and putting them in my PC all in like a week's time.
Yeah, dude, you just went in. You got the itch.
I just did it.
You got the itch. Yeah. So
thank you, Amazon 2-day free shipping.
Oh yeah. So my week, I've only been on to play games a few nights this week. 'Cause you know how it is with little babies in the house. But I played some more Gears Horde mode this week.
We still got to play it. You've invited me a couple times, and
I'll catch you one night. We'll get you in there. It's fun. It's games like that scratch a particular itch, like Call of Duty Zombies, any Horde mode, anything with like waves and stuff like that. I just really love to enjoy because there's moments of intensity, but it's also kind of casual, and it's team-based, cooperative. And you just see how far can we go and just play and play and play. And
dude, if I ranked my favorite games, it would be in the top 3 would be Destiny, Gears, and SOCOM. Gears has always been one of my
you got a special place in your heart, right?
Yeah.
So I played that, and then I've jumped back into Shadow of Mordor. And,
nice.
You were talking about trying to figure games out again. Well, the combat in that game can be really punishing if you don't have your abilities and combos down. So I had to relearn. I had to like go through all the skill trees, remember like what all I had unlocked and could do. But now I'm back into it. So I'm like, I'm trying to 100% the game.
Nice,
and I think I'm at about 80% right now.
Is there a release date for the sequel? Because I know you're pretty.
Yeah, they pushed it to October 10th, actually, which is my birthday. So that's what I'll be doing on my birthday.
There you go.
Playing the new Mordor game.
Very cool. I'm sure I'll end up with that one too. I haven't finished Shadow of Mordor yet either.
Which that's on sale on PC for like super cheap. I think like $5 or $10 you can get the like the Game of the Year edition on Steam sale right now. So if you never played that, definitely worth picking up. If you like any of the Assassin's Creed games, this is, I've said it before in the show, it's Assassin's Creed with magic. And, they do a really cool job of integrating all the Middle Earth lore and stuff, which I'm a huge nerd about. It has that
cool, like, hierarchy system in it too, right?
Yeah,
where you
the
take
Nemesis
out the
system,
leaders.
Nemesis system, is what really differentiated the game. It makes it a lot of fun. So that's kind of what I've been into this week. Just trying to crack open those experiences.
Yeah,
I've got a list of games that I'm finishing before September. So I was like, this is a good time to do it. Because it's a little tougher if I get into Destiny. with what I have going on, it's kind of tough to get into any major activities that I want to play because I get pulled away a lot. Like baby wakes up, got to go help mom, change the diaper, whatever. That's hard to do if you're in the middle of a raid. So
yeah, single player experiences are shorter multiplayer experiences like Overwatch are a little easier.
And anything that you can press pause is a big boon.
Believe it or not, we always talk about us being spreadsheet nerds. I found and reprinted my list of backlogged spreadsheet of games.
Wow.
I printed that bad boy, and this is, like you said, a great time this summer. We can still play a little Destiny here and there, but to try to fit in some of these games we never finished.
You'll have to show me that.
Dude, it's ridiculous. I have like 10 plus games in my backlog that I either have not started, like I bought Mass Effect Andromeda, haven't even, I don't even think that disc has seen my console yet.
Oh man.
So, yeah. Did you play that? Did you pick that
Yeah,
up?
I'm still playing. I got to what I believe is the last planet you unlock, and I didn't know there was another planet to unlock, so I got there, and I was like, oh god, I do not want to go through an entire planet of exploration again. So I kind of put it down because I think that was burning me out a little bit, to just go do some other stuff. Like, I just want to finish a game.
I know, it's so hard to do.
So many games that I can't finish because I'm so focused on doing all the things that it's taking too long, and I can't get to the end of the experience to feel like I can put it away. So I was like, what can I play and finish?
That's where you miss experiences like Gears of War campaigns or Uncharted because it's,
get logged in like a 80, 100 hour game to like really wipe it out. And it's like, oh man. So I'm planning on trying to do the Gears campaign pretty soon and knock that out. I mean, that's, like a few nights I could do that probably. And so that's kind of what I'm into right now till the Destiny beta comes up. I think that's what I'm going to focus on.
I'm with you.
Cool.
Right there with you.
Cool. So that was my reset, ordered a PC, parts, and playing some of those games.
Very exciting. I guess listeners and Derp fam tweet at us at Destiny Reset. Let us know what you're playing, because there's a good chance you may be sprinkling in some other games here and there.
Destiny and otherwise.
Maybe there's another one we need to add to our list.
Let us know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
Well, you ready for some Derp Fam discourse, man?
I am. We've got a couple different things, different types of media.
Yeah, we got a speak pipe from our good friend BitDead. You want to take a listen to that?
Yeah, he sent it to us we recorded, we've been recording on Thursdays, so he sent this probably hoping for it to hit the 100th episode, but it just missed, so of course we will do it on the 101st episode.
There you go.
Let's take a listen.
Hello, you sexy beasts. How you doing? It's BitDead. First of all, Cyborg, again, congratulations, sir, on the birth of your little light. I hope mother and baby are continuing to do well. Aronite, again, also, I hope your little Titan is continuing to get strong. Soon be in the fight. Also, congratulations on 100 shows. It's no surprise to me you've made 100. The show's great. You guys are great. And then along with our admins and ambassadors and the great people that are in Discord and in the whole clan in general, it's fantastic. It's a great place to be. I, for one, am honoured to be part of it. It's absolutely brilliant. And this juggernaut does not seem to be slowing. So well done. Quick question. Obviously, you went to the D2 reveal. I was very jealous. And it's a silly question, really. But if there's one thing you could bring from what you've seen so far of D2 into D1 just to help us with the lull, what would it be? Anyway, guys, again, congratulations. Keep up the fantastic work. And I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.
Well, thanks, BitDead, for the congratulatories and etc. And
thank you, sir.
He's funny, man. So we got a good question. What do you think about this? If you could bring anything from Destiny 2 that we saw into Destiny 1, what would you like to see?
I listened to this when he first sent it, but I didn't like actually. This is like a thinker one.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have one that's like right off the top you can think of? Give me a second to
Probably I would want to bring the weapon systems, the reworked, primary and then energy and then power. Like, if I could bring that right now into Destiny 1 to get, number one, to get used to that system. Number two, to change the whole balance of PvP. That's what I would love to see.
I did think of one, I think, right away. I honestly think it would be cool if we could just start playing 4v4 right now.
That's a good one too.
We loaded into a match. I think I mentioned this, but it was 4v4 for a little while because it just wasn't joining more players on each of our teams. And I'm like, man, I do kind of wish we could experience it right now. I know we could jump into private matches, but just to be able to jump into any Crucible mode
and do it in public,
especially trials, in public, and try the 4v4. I'm really interested to see what it does with trials because I think way back we kind of tinkered with 4v4 in private matches, but it's going to be interesting to see how trials feels with it. But I agree on the weapons too. Those are, I think maybe an episode or two ago of Massive Breakdown, they were talking about how you can prep for D2 right now in Destiny 1, and they were talking about using primaries, your normal primary, and then using like a sidearm or something.
Yeah.
And things of that nature, and not using heavy machine guns, and like ways you could make Destiny 1 feel like Destiny 2 to get yourself maybe ahead of the game when the beta drops.
Right.
Yeah. That's a good question though. That's a fun angle.
Yeah.
Bit dead on a question.
Question, man.
Very cool.
We got another bit. We got an email from Bitmapped77. You want to take this one?
Yeah, sure. Says, hello from a new member. Hey guys, just wanted to say hi and thanks for always providing great entertainment for me while driving to work. As an Aussie Guardian who had to step away from Destiny for a few months due to addiction levels and a wife-threatening divorce, smiley face, I've been gradually getting back into the game, although can't play as much as I would like. Probably should have taken the divorce option.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know, I read that. I finally got the guts up to join the Dirt Fam. I've been listening to the show for months now and have always thought about joining, but always put it off. I have to say, I am rapt I joined. The instant warm welcomes I received made me wonder why I had taken so long to do it. I even passed a quiz, although I had to Google what jorts were, and regarding peanut butter, I opted for, what is it?
Vegemite.
Vegemite instead. What is Vegemite?
It's like a spread, but I'm pretty sure it's made from vegetables. Like,
okay, that makes sense. Vegemite.
I've never had it. I've heard of it.
And he goes on to say, so this is just a thanks for a very warm welcomes, and I'm looking forward to getting to know the fam and just having some fun in a game like all of us we adore, even with its flaws. Take care, and I'll see you all in the tower while it's still standing. Warlock Masterclass. Thanks,
Heyo.
Mark. Bitmapped77 on PSN. Yeah, I know now why you had me read this. I forgot he said Warlock Master. That's like 2 episodes in a row, or at least in the last 3.
You put the email in there, man. You saw it.
I did.
Got him.
Well, cool. Thanks so much for that email.
Thanks for joining the fam, man.
Yeah.
And you're in
Welcome.
Australia, you should listen to our Kuzans, as we call them in the South. Go listen to the Destiny Down Under podcast. Some Aussies.
Yes.
Some friends that you probably relate with. Vegemite from Wikipedia is a thick black Australian food spread made from leftover brewer's yeast extract with various vegetable and spice additives.
Very nice.
Vegemite.
Yeah, you got to look up Nerdy Dolphins,
Mystery
Cam
spread.
Pike, and Bushman. I'm sure we have some other Aussies that have joined in the
we
last
have
few
a
months.
bunch.
But
Got a bunch of that group.
You're plenty in the Dirt Fam. It's, you know what, we get these emails, and it's funny because it is kind of the same thing a lot of times. It's, I don't know why I took so long to join the Dirt Fam, because once you join, you realize the warm welcomes and how awesome they are. The guardians of the Dirt Fam are. So very cool.
Got
Thanks
him
for sharing
now.
with us. Got him.
Hey, let's give some shout outs to some patrons, man.
Yes. We've got some more.
If you didn't know, we have a Patreon at patreon.com/Destiny Reset, where if you would like to support us, you can for as little as $1 a month. And we have some new patrons this week that we'd love to thank for their contributions. That's Drafty974, Hidden, and Bone Star with a 5.
Thank you guys.
Thank you
so
very much. Yeah.
Your name has already been added to our websites.
Yep. And if you do so, of course, you get a shout out on the show. We put your gamer tag on our website that you can see. And you also get sent a exclusive Twitter banner, a Dirt Fam Twitter
which
banner.
Is in the works.
Yes. And then also you'll get access to upcoming non-Destiny related podcasts first. We'll be having a periodic show we put together every so often, and you'll get to hear it before anybody else. So
that's exciting.
Yeah, be sure to go check that out if you'd like to support us. We would appreciate it. It goes towards things like hosting fees and podcasting equipment we need to buy, and all the things that you wouldn't believe how much it costs to do this. I'm just saying, guys. But Dirt Fam Discourse, if you want to write us or send a speak pipe, we'd encourage that. Tell them our email, please.
It is destinyresetpodcast@gmail.com, and you can leave us a speak pipe at speakpipe.com/destinyreset. It's just like leaving a voicemail.
Awesome. So questions, discussion topics, or a shout out, or even tell us a great story about something positive in the community. We'd love to hear it for this part of the show.
Please send it in.
Absolutely. And if you want to be on the week's show, be sure to get them in before Thursdays.
Yes.
Just an FYI.
We've kind of made Thursdays our regular recording night, if possible, which the TWAB is released, things of that nature, so it works. Yeah.
All right, man.
Maddie.
All right, you ready to wrap this up, Doc?
Let's do it. We doing the plug thing?
Yeah, let's do the plug thing. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at The Arrow Knight, and on YouTube and Twitch, it's just Arrow Knight.
Perfect. And you can find me at Cyborg Sasquatch on Twitter and twitch.tv/Cyborg Sasquatch.
Twitch may be seeing some action
It
soon.
is going to be seeing some action within like the very near future.
Very cool.
Yep. Finally, you can find us at Destiny Reset on Twitter and on the web at www.destinyresetpodcast.com. That's your source for all things DRP, including links to join the Bungie.net group if you want to join the Dirt Fam. You can even click to subscribe to us on your podcast app of choice. And yeah. Got any iTunes reviews this week, man?
We do.
Nice.
We got several. We got one from Indie Sales Guy. Thank you so much for the very long, heartfelt review. We appreciate that. Death by Cola. Don't be nervous to join the Dirt Fam Discord. As we mentioned previously, you'll be glad you did.
Yep.
I love this next name. Not, as in KNOT, not enthusiast.
The man is into knots.
Appreciate the review. And you, the man, Nick. Very descriptive, interesting review. Actually, I put a little note here in our show notes. If we could request like a derp novel in the way that he phrased his review, it's pretty entertaining.
I'm going to have to go read this one. I didn't read that one yet.
Go read it. I think let me just read you one. I'll just take a little excerpt from it here. Let me pick a sentence here.
Okay.
Destiny Reset has the astute privilege of being hosted by the Divine Arrow and the Benevolent Cyborg.
Wow.
2 level 99 white wizards of podcasting who carry a virtual... I'll just stop there.
He's got away with words is what you're saying.
Yes.
Love it.
And we also branched out and we went and kind of... Every now and then we like to scout the other stores and see if maybe there's a Guardian or two that we hadn't seen, because we kind of stick to the U.S. store a lot, as that's where we are.
Yeah.
And Saduk from the UK iTunes store, thank you so much for the review, the recent review. And anyone else that we've missed, thank you so much. If you want to tweet at us and let us know, we definitely love to give you a shout out, but we really appreciate you guys leaving us reviews. It It helps get the show out there more, and it also gives us the feedback from you guys so we know the show is entertaining or not.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man.
Dude, another one. The next one will be live in the podcast theater.
Absolutely. I failed to mention, in case anybody didn't catch it, the next episode of Destiny Reset will be live at Guardian Con, and you can watch it Saturday, July 1st, 12 p.m. Eastern Time at twitch.tv/Destiny Reset.
Yes.
Live at Guardian Con. Be sure to tune in. If you don't, I'm sure the video will be archived and we'll have an audio version, hopefully
Yes.
that will push out maybe on July 4th. We'll see.
Yes, we're hoping to
We're working on all the
figure
deets,
out
yeah, but
once we get there to get out an audio
we'll
version.
do our
of the
best
show.
to make sure that it gets to everybody else in the world.
Even if we have to rip the archived video
Oh, yeah.
and convert it to an MP3 file.
Whatever has to be done, you will get it if you can't
Get
watch.
it to you guys. All right, dude.
All right.
Great show. I'll see you next week. We'll see each other
That's right.
a couple times now in a couple
See
months.
you in Tampa, buddy.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, guys. Until next week, have fun playing Destiny and take care, Guardians.